A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to After Hours with Team William in India. Last evening for October 2022. So if we look at today's Nifty action, it was very positive one. So in the morning, gap up of more than 110-20 points, and it sustained. So generally, the trend was like after the gap up opening, we were not able to sustain or we were not able to close at a high. But today there was not a problem. As you can see today's intraday chart, after opening higher, Nifty found a very good support at 17,900, and after making a low of 17,899.9, Nifty again went higher in the opening hour and made a high of 17,972. I think during rest of the session, it was a very range-bound trade. The premiums, option premiums were eroded during the day, and it traded in, if you can see over here, in a very narrow range. कोई ऐसा 920 के 25 के नीचे नहीं गया, ऐसा 18,000 के ऊपर नहीं भाग गया, पूरा दिन एक नैरो रेंज में कंसोलिडेट करता रहा निफ्टी. But the good part, if you look over here, is like in the last hour, Nifty break above the 18K mark, and the closing was strong. The closing was almost near the day's high, just 5-10 points here and there. But we again got a closing above the 18,000 mark. So if you look over here in the chart, sorry, yeah, if you look over here, so Nifty had reclaimed its 50 DMA, the red line. The green line over here is the 21 DMA. So Nifty is comfortably trading about that zone, almost 400-500 points above those zone. And yes, it is back above the 18,000 mark. So यहाँ पे जब Nifty ने breach किया था, ठीक है, उसके बाद अभी ये पूरा ऐसा कप बना के फिर से 18,000 का मार्क निफ्टी ने ले लिया है. Now let's see if we can sustain gain from here, because यहाँ पे भी देखो दो बार इस रेंज में से निफ्टी गिरा था. So we are almost in a similar range, 18,000, 18,100. So what's the best thing tomorrow that we are looking for is कि 18,000 और 18,100 वाला जो जोन है वहां से निफ्टी ऊपर जाए. ठीक है, that is the first thing that we want to look for. Secondly, what we are waiting for to shift to a confirm uptrend is the follow through day. I think a lot of discussion we have done regarding the follow through day, but today also the action was not enough to get a follow through day. एक तो पहली चीज gain 1.5% से ज्यादा नहीं, ठीक है. And second thing which I didn't like about today's session was the volume. So if you look at the volume was relatively on the lower side. Not relatively, but I think yes, it was almost 20-30% below average and 10% below the Friday's volume. So not a good way to know for the strong gain. जब भी इतना अच्छा gain होता है, you want volume to be on the bit on the higher side. चलो ऐसा होता है कि फ्राइडे हायर साइड बहुत हाई वॉल्यूम पे था और अभी इतना कैचअप नहीं कर रहा है, वो ठीक है. फ्राइडे का भी बिलो एवरेज वॉल्यूम था, आज भी वही है, और आज तो फ्राइडे से भी कम वॉल्यूम था. सो दैट वन लिंक is what we are not very comfortable with in the current market, even this rally. So यहाँ पे जो major part of the rally है वो volume में issue था, and I think it's still there. The volume issue is still there. So that is only one thing which is a bit not comfortable about this market. Secondly, अगर आप benchmark index देखें तो वहाँ पे that was very good. But look at the small cap. अभी Nifty small cap 100 was almost flat. I think it was just up 0.1%. So broader market में इतना रैली पास ऑन नहीं हुआ था. जनरली क्या होता है कि इनिशियली तो बेंचमार्क इंडेक्स रैली स्टार्ट करता है, ठीक है. इनिशियली हियर देयर वाज अ रैली, but now when the Nifty is comfortably above its 50 and 21 DMA, you want to see the broader market participation as well. ऐसे टाइम पे generally you want the broader market to outperform, but it is not happening. Though the mid cap index was not a problem, वहाँ पे momentum था Nifty mid cap index में, but if you look at the small cap index और जो छोटे stocks हैं वहाँ पे अभी भी momentum इतना नहीं बन रहा है. But overall the setup is good. What you need, there are a lot of stocks forming the base which are very close to pivot, but what we are looking for is the follow through day. Now if you look at the today's top gainer, so I think the major Nifty gain came from the HDFC twins. So HDFC Limited was up almost 2.9%, फिर HDFC बैंक around 2.6 या 7% ऊपर था, and IT index was up 1.4%. So these guys, pushed Nifty above 18,000 mark. Also some auto names, M&M, Eicher Motors, Ultratech, the cement guy, was the top gainer today, and L&T crossed the 2000 mark and it closed 2.9% higher. On the flip side, not much losses. If you look at Dr. Reddy, Tata Steel, Britannia, NTPC, less than 1% loss. Only Apollo Hospital was having the loss of more than 1%. Okay. Now, if you look at the sectoral indices, the banks was almost up 0.77%. BS, the gain was good in the auto stocks, financial service, HDFC ऊपर था, then FMCG was good. All the sectors were in green, but specifically IT, HDFC twins, ये जब ऊपर जाते हैं तब index को काफी support मिलता है and it crosses new high. The pharma was in a good momentum, 1.26% gain. The others were around 0.5% higher. If you look at the key news, Bharat Electronics, so after the results, if you can, it increased its lower end FY23 margin guidance to 22 to 23% from 21 to 23%. So, जब भी margin guidance ऊपर जाता है, then that's always very positive for the company. Also, the revenue guidance was good, 15% growth for FY23 and with increasing margins. So this was some positive news for the Bharat Electronics. GHCL reported its Q2 FY23 numbers. The revenue grew 72% YOY to 1381 crore. The EBITDA grew almost 2.5 times on a YOY basis to 434 crore, and the margin was expanded 10.4% on a YOY basis to 31.4%. Saregama also reported its Q2 numbers. The revenue growth was good. The EBITDA was up by almost 28%. Margin was at almost flat, 30 versus 30.4%. So no major changes over there. Supreme Industry came out with the result. Revenue growth tha, but यहाँ पे problem margin था. So margin was only at 7% versus 16.1% on a YOY basis. And due to low margin, EBITDA पे impact आ गया, सीधा 52% down था to 147 crore. And there was some INR was sharp slip, 82.78 या 8 तक पहुंच गया था in the second half of the day. And just now, I think some 10-15 minutes back, Airtel reported its Q2 number. So PAT missed estimates by some 5 to 6%, not a major miss. But the good part is the revenue and the margin came about the estimate. Also, the average revenue per user, which is very important for these companies. So there was a decent growth over here from I think 182, 183 to 190. So this is a good growth for the Airtel. So overall, the benchmark indices are gaining it, but we need more participation from the broader market, and you want to see a follow-through day. So that's it for today's session. So a lot of volatility can be expected this week, guys, because a lot of events are there, especially in the US. The Fed meeting is there. Then I think by the end of this week, the elections are there. The next week, also you have the CPI numbers in the US. So we need to brace up for the volatility, follow the rules, right? Do not get deceived by some of the major moves in the market. Be very careful with the stocks that you are having. Technical weakness लगे अगर आपके पास stock है, it's good time to book profit, cut losses. If the strength is there, it's always great to continue holding. So thank you for joining the session. See you tomorrow at 8:45 in the morning. We will discuss what happened in the US market and how the setup is there for tomorrow's session.